Welcome back, and we are not racing. No, we are racing. That's why we're here. We're prepping the car. And as usual, what started off as a decision to refurbish the transmission has somewhat escalated into totally tearing the car apart, getting the engine sorted, and rebuilding the whole damn thing. So, if you're remotely interested in how to build a Lemons car, I suggest you subscribe now and follow the updates as we go through this. Yes, indeedy, how to mount a Chevy small block into a Porsche 944. That's just for starters. We're going to be adding a lightness wherever we can, and that'll include the rear screen. Yes, it's damned heavy. We're going to be exploring all sorts of possibilities with that, but more on that later. Start at the beginning and see where it takes us. So today we're supposed to be ripping out the transmission out of the race car, but Rick seems more excited about taking his Cobra for a drive. Boys and their toys. So, welcome back, and yes, we're working on the Porsche. It's been sat for 6 months down in Phoenix, so the battery is as flat as a very flat thing. So the idea is that we're going to be stripping out the transmission, and this is because we started off with a bog standard 944 transmission, and we blew that up in a couple of races, I think, just because of the torque, I guess, of the Chevy motor, too much for it. So we got a 944 turbo with an oil cooler, and that has lasted us forever, actually. But the thing is, we bought it second hand, so we don't really know what condition it was in when we got it. It has lasted, as I say, an awful long time, and we thought before our luck ran out, we should probably get it rebuilt. The reason being, it cost us $900 5 years ago, and now they're increasingly difficult to find. So we had a look around eBay, and they're kind of $1,800. And then again, of course, you're starting with something that you don't really know where it's at in its life. So it just made a lot more sense to actually completely rebuild this one, and then effectively it's brand new. We're going to be repairing some of the damage that Rick did to the car. Well, he said somebody drove into him, but I don't know. We're going to be looking at swapping out the carburetor air intake side of things, rather than that monstrosity that currently pokes out the hood. Luckily we've got a spare hood, thanks to Chuck Gray, not Chuck Armstrong. So we'll probably be fitting that, and we'll probably be giving the whole car a paint job, because it's seen better days. So I lied, the battery was fine. Oh, I forgot to turn on the main switch. So we were just checking the transmission fluid, and David got there just in time with a bucket. Yeah.
Excellent. I got the precision.
Absolutely.
Precision
yeah.
capture. Don't look at that. That's purely. That was there.
I guess we got some fluid in there anyway.
What did you decide about the oil level?
Quick trip to Kurt's to go and get the transmission jack, and a very special place. Yes, Tinker Way.
By the way, he just videos. He doesn't do anything.
That's my job now. Excellent. So we're removing.
Matt is removing. David's holding the tyre.
I've been lugging this all the way from Kurt's. For the record, we're just going to take the gear shift off. So there's that ball joint thing there, and then there's a load of stuff here.
On your last video,
so we've been turning the motor around in gear to get this, which is the bolt that secures the coupling of the transmission in line with our new hole. Hey, remember in a previous video I talked about us modifying that coupling to line everything up perfectly with the thrust converter, and this is that modification over the standard part. Turns out the back of the bell housing was being held on with just one bolt, so we'll be replacing that. We're going to have to take the exhaust off to get to all that, and in the process of taking the transmission out, we managed to dislocate the pilot bearing, so we're going to be taking the whole torque tube off and having a look at all that, which will involve taking the gear shift out as well. Right, pain. So David's gone in to change into his Superman outfit, I think. Where's your Superman outfit? Today has mainly been destructive. We've ripped out the marvellously fabricated radiator holder and underfloor pinning. We have ripped off the front spoiler, air dam. We have dismounted the motor, ready to take out, although it was barely held in the first place. There were, 4 out of the 5 bolts holding it in. We have, what else have we done?
We've removed the gear shift lever, which is now supporting the rear end of the engine.
We have, yes, removed the gear lever. We have semi-removed the torque tube. As we're lifting the motor out of the car, we can get to other areas and connections of things like clutch fluid, other remote oil filter system, and other bits and pieces that are easier to access once the motor's slightly out of position.
As we can see, David's doing his usual trick of catching the oil. Not.
Anyway, we finally got it free, and that's off to Prescott to be rebuilt. That's most of the initial teardown pretty much done. That's really not the part you're interested in. So over the coming weeks and months, we'll be putting it back together when we get bits sorted out, and there's still a few bits to come off, like that rear screen we talked about. We've got some ideas on that, and that'll be an episode all unto itself, I'm sure. Thanks for watching as usual, and do subscribe to get the updates as we get on with this rebuild. Indeedy, how to build a Lemon's 24-hour race car, starting with a Porsche 944 and throwing in a Chevy small block just for shits and giggles. There's some other Porsche videos available on the channel, including a race weekend and some other bits and pieces as to the original build, so check those out. And of course, encourage others to watch my lunacy.